Injuries, injuries, injuries. That's the story of this slip today. Yesterday, I should say. Uh, yeah, the two that didn't hit, they either had injuries involved in the game or they got taken out of the game and they couldn't get to the number. So, um, have we hit rock bottom? I really can't answer that. We might have. The losing streak continues on another day. We just can't seem to buy one here over the last week. We've been just not having the best slips. Um, so just real quick, recapping the slip yesterday. Shane Bieber smashed his a pitching outs line pretty easily. Oh, that one started out pretty shaky. Gave up those 2 runs in that first inning with the Julio Rodriguez home run, but he settled in nicely and really gave the Blue Jays some length that they really needed. Um, Nick Minacucci, well, this is a guy that, you know, he was making some big plays down the field, like really all game. Um, but I was watching some of this game. I wasn't watching like all of it. Um, but I was watching some of it, and it was like second quarter or like late first quarter. He was like running the ball, and then he got like a big hit, and he was like definitely favoring that leg. He was limping, um, so I was hoping that would probably affect him getting under this number. You would think that would be the case. Somebody gets hurt, they're not going to be able to perform as their usual, you know, as usual numbers. But that it didn't really seem to affect them at all. I really don't understand the defense or the offense really by Delaware. It looked like a video game kind of offense. It seemed like every route they were just chucking it down the field. Um, and I mean, it was kind of they were connecting on some and they weren't connecting on some. They just kept on doing it. So it was really just something to watch there. I mean, it was just I can understand why they ran those routes because they were trailing this whole game by a lot, which didn't help the game script at all here. Uh, this was a game where Delaware was supposed to be actually like winning. They were like 2.5 point favorites, I believe. Um, so the fact that they were down like 21-0, I think they were down like 28-6. They were just trailing big throughout the whole game, and they were just throwing it. They were throwing the ball deep like every single possession. It was kind of crazy. Um, so that did not help the under at all there, and not one bit. This guy, Owen McCaskill, man, this is 2 nights in a row now where a guy's like destroying in the first half of the game, but then an injury, happens and he doesn't see the rest of the field. So, and it's unfortunate PrizePicks didn't reboot this one. It's kind of a shame. You would think they would reboot this one, but they didn't because he didn't even see the field the whole second half because he got hurt in that second quarter, like late second quarter. He had he was pass blocking and I guess hurt his ankle and he never returned to the game. It didn't look too bad because he jogged off the field afterwards. So I was pretty hopeful that he would get back in the game. Just considering he needed just 10 more yards anyway. Um, just very, very upsetting. This happens 2 nights in a row. College football. Matthew Henry got us last night after that strong start to the game, and you just can't really make this up. And I mean that's just the way our luck's been going over the last week. And George Springer, you never know with hitters. That's why I never like taking hitters, but he came through with a big way today. He went with a home run, I think, pretty sure home run and I think a couple other hits. I don't remember. It was kind of a blowout, so I stopped watching that game. But yeah, I mean, I got 6 more plays for you guys today. We're covering some NFL, we got college football, and some MLB. Got 6 plays. Back to the regular normality of the slip. So hopefully we can just turn this cold streak around in a big way. We really need to get it done. So I'm very hopeful for tonight's picks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. First pick of the day. We're targeting George Springer over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. My projection is at 1.87. We're going right back to the well again today. I just really like this matchup even more so than yesterday. Mariners are going to be starting Luis Castillo in this matchup. Springer hasn't had the best success against Castillo in his career. I think he's like 2 for 15 career off Luis Castillo lifetime. But I'm only expecting him to see Luis Castillo, at least I think at least 2 times. I don't think he sees him 3 times. So, and I do like the matchup Springer has with a lot of the bullpen arms for the Mariners. So I think Springer, he's been really just that engine that makes his team go. And if the Blue Jays are gonna win, he's got to be the guy that starts it off at the top of the order. So I think he's going to be able to have a big day once again. I don't know if he hits a home run again, but I do think he continues to get solid hits. And yeah, I think he does enough to get over this line to start off MLB. So we're jumping into another hitter. We're going right back to the well here. We're going Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 total bases. My projection is at 2.5. Yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. Shohei Ohtani has done absolutely nothing in these playoffs. I mean, it really just shows how dominant of a Dodgers team that they have. I mean, talk about you needing a salary cap in baseball. Well, you got the best player in baseball that's really done nothing except for pitching, really, and he hasn't really did that well. He's been like the worst starting pitcher technically on the Dodgers staff through the playoffs. So, I mean, Ohtani's been their worst player if you want to actually look at it that way. I mean, he just hasn't done nothing. I mean, he gets like maybe a hit every now and then, but he just hasn't done anything big. But I think he does something big in this game. He's returning home here. He's facing the Brewers. The Brewers actually haven't announced who they're going to start, so it could be like an all hands on deck kind of situation for the Brewers. I don't think the Brewers make this 4 games. I mean, I think it's just going to be a 4-0 sweep for the Dodgers here. The Brewers, I just don't think they're just dead right now. They were hot coming off that Cubs win, but when you run into a gauntlet of a team that this Dodgers team has, you know, they can just strip that momentum right out of you. That's what the Dodgers are going to do here, coming home in LA. I think they're going to close out the Brewers in 2 games here and move on to the World Series, which I think they will win too. So, Shohei Ohtani, he's due. I think he goes deep today, so I like over 1.5 total bases there. So moving on to NFL now, we got Aaron Rodgers over 216.5 passing yards. My projection is at 231.6. So if you've been following the channel, since like the start, since I've been starting this channel, you know that we've been taking like Aaron Rodgers like every single time, and he's been burning us every single time. I think we're 0-3 now picking Aaron Rodgers. Last Sunday we picked him under his passing yards line, and he goes over. And the 2 previous times we picked him over his passing yards, and he again didn't go over. He went under. So we're going right back to the well again. I mean, it's probably a stupid pick. I think it's stupid, but again, I just like the spot. I think this number is just too low. I mean, I think it's a favorable matchup as well. There's really nothing that I see that, like, I've been running the numbers and formulas once again, and I just really don't see a world where he gets under this unless it's a complete blowout. But I think this game does stay pretty competitive. But this Bengals defense is bad on both sides, no matter where you go, with the running game or the passing game. I think DK Metcalf makes some big plays. I think the tight ends get some big plays. So I think Rodgers going to have plenty. Rodgers' last game, I mean, he was really letting it fly. So he still got that arm down at like age 40 or something. I don't know how old he is. I know he's in his 40s though, but he can still throw around a little bit. So I like him to make some plays in this game to get over this number. If we go, I know I said last like a couple videos ago, recapping last Sunday's pick. I know I said I wasn't going to pick Aaron Rodgers anymore. Well, the data says I like him here, so I'm going to go right back to it. So jumping to pick number 4, we're taking the other side of this game. We're going Jamar Chase over 74.5 receiving yards. I got him at 87. This is one of my top picks of the slip. Jamar Chase finally has a competent quarterback now under center. He doesn't have to deal with Jake Browning anymore. So, and again, the first game with Joe Flacco, he smashed his line last week. He got targeted pretty much. I think he got like 10 targets in that game, like 7 catches. I expect a similar output tonight. I think this line actually jumps up to like 75.5 to, I think it goes up to like about 80. I think it goes up to 80. I just really think this line's too low. I mean, I think this is a spot where I think the Bengals are going to be pretty competitive in this game. And what I saw last week, Joe Flacco, a veteran quarterback, and he knows how to get the ball to the playmakers. I think he's going to continue to get the ball to Jamar Chase in this game. So one of my favorite picks of the slip. He'll be playing him on the 2-pick slip. Jamar Chase has to be locked in there for sure. Jumping to pick number 5 now. We're going college football. Taking Anthony Smith over 58.5 receiving yards. I got him at 66.8. Um, he's wide receiver 1 for East Carolina. East Carolina taking on Tulsa in this spot. They are big, heavy favorites. They're like 17.5-point favorites. So we're hoping he can get this majority of these yards in the first half, because I'm afraid if he gets to the second half, they might run the ball more. But Anthony Smith, he's a big play wide receiver. We took him last week, I believe. Again, he was a guy that he had like 0 yards through 3 quarters of the game. Okay, we had him like 60.5 receiving yards, I believe. We had him over. So fourth quarter rolls around. It's a pretty competitive game. I mean, they're trailing. They did end up losing that game, but anyway, Smith had like 2 catches in that fourth quarter. He had like one for like 48 yards and then one for like 6 yards. So he finished with like 54. But he's a big play wide receiver. I mean, I think they're going to get him the ball even more early in this game, because I think that's one of the main reasons they didn't have success last week, is because Anthony Smith was a non-factor in their offense. And I mean, if they're gonna put up points, Anthony Smith's going to be involved. So another one where I think this line does jump up to 60, but I do think the line's pretty accurate here because of the game. The game score, the game script, expecting the game to be leading big the whole game. But I think this game could be actually pretty competitive for a little bit there. I think East Carolina does pull away late, but we got another pick from this game. We're taking the other side. We're taking Tulsa's running back. We're going Dominic Richardson over 53.5 rushing yards. I got him projected at 84.6. This is my ceiling projection form. I think my baseline projection form is at like 56.6. So the reason I'm showing you the ceiling projection is because this is a guy, that's kind of have fluctuated volumes. He either gets between 13 carries or he can go up to 30 carries. This is a guy, that depending on how the game script goes, he could easily smash this line. I mean, I think this is just one of my favorite picks of the slip as well. I'm going to be playing him and Jamar Chase on a 2-pick slip together. So if you want to split these up, that's exactly what I'd be doing. But again, this is a game where, okay, I get it. I think this line's down here this low because of the game spread, 17.5-point underdog. So you would assume them to be throwing the ball more than rushing it in this game. But Richardson's like their whole offense, really. I mean, they really go through Richardson if they're going to have success. And East Carolina's rushing defense is not that great. I guess they're pretty average across the league. So, but again, I think this is a guy. He's going to get his amount. He's going to get his regular volume. I mean, even in blowouts for Tulsa, that he gets around 13 to 15 carries. So, and if the game somehow stays competitive, he's going to be up in upwards of probably 20 carries. So it's going to depend on how the game script goes. If this game does stay competitive, which there's a very good chance that it could, Dominic Richardson's going to be getting his volume. If he gets 20 carries, he's going to smash the 53.5 rushing yards. He could easily have like a big rushing day too. He could get over 100 yards. So one of my favorite picks of the slip, and I think it's a great closer to the 6-pick slip today. And that's going to wrap up today's slip, guys. If you enjoyed it, once again, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. I post daily picks every single day. So I know we've been cold over the last week. I don't know. We got to find something to break out of this slump here. There's no better way to break out of it than cashing into 6 for 6, which we've been really chasing it over the last week. So desperately need it. I think we get it done today. I like these picks. So that's gonna do this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.